What makes a song last? What makes an album linger not just in playlists, but in people's hearts, long after its release? In an industry where music moves fast and memories even faster, Golden by BTS's Jungkook continues to defy all odds. It's July 2025. Almost 2 years have passed since its release. Yet today, the numbers reveal something no one expected. Golden has just crossed 5.5 billion total streams on Spotify. That's not a typo. 5.5 billion. And perhaps what's even more mind-bending, this didn't happen through aggressive promotions, viral trends, or media hype. It happened during silence. But what is this silence trying to tell us? Released on November 3rd, 2023, Golden was Jungkook's first full solo album, a bold, genre-fluid journey filled with sensual grooves, heart-aching vulnerability, and bold confidence. It marked a turning point not just for Jungkook as an artist, but for the global music scene. Tracks like 7, Standing Next to You, 3D, and Yes or No didn't just dominate charts. They defined moods, ignited fan theories, and embedded themselves into people's daily routines. But as 2025 rolled in, most albums from 2023 had long vanished from the charts. Not Golden. Why? Since early 2024, Jungkook has been serving in the South Korean military, taking a necessary step as part of his national duty. But what should have been a quiet period for his brand turned into something else entirely, an era of reflection, rediscovery, and unexpected growth. Without any new releases, no interviews, no social media lives, Jungkook's music just kept getting played. Repeatedly, religiously, emotionally. As of July 2025, analysts now say Golden is one of the most streamed solo K-pop albums in history, sitting alongside legendary Western releases in Spotify's global rankings. Some even speculate that if momentum continues, Jungkook might become the first Asian soloist to cross 6 billion streams on a debut album. But is it just about numbers? Or is something deeper pulling people back to Golden? From the seductive smoothness of 3D to the aching vulnerability in Hate You, Jungkook laid bare his emotional world through Golden. And now, as fans await his return from military service, they turn to these tracks like letters written from a distance. "Every song feels like a message," said one ARMY on X. "He may be quiet now, but I still hear him in every verse." Music critics are echoing this sentiment. Rolling Stone Korea called Golden a flawless balance of mainstream sensibility and artistic depth. Billboard said, "It's the kind of debut album that doesn't chase trends, it becomes one." But still, why now? Why is Golden resurging in July 2025? Over the past few weeks, several fan communities have noticed something strange. Streaming numbers for Golden tracks began to spike, without any coordinated streaming events or playlists. It was organic. Natural on July 1st, following BTS's emotional OT7 reunion livestream, where Jungkook appeared briefly but looked noticeably quiet and distant. Streams of Golden surged by 11% in 24 hours. Fans began revisiting songs like Too Sad to Dance and Shot Glass of Tears, interpreting lyrics in new light. Was Jungkook trying to say something back in 2023 that only now makes sense? Is Golden a map, and we're only now learning how to read it? Jungkook has not spoken publicly since early June. His Weverse account remains dormant. His Instagram untouched. HYB hasn't made any statements about solo projects, re-releases, or future promotions. Yet, the numbers don't lie. His name still trends weekly. His songs are still charting on Spotify Global 200. And Golden, an album from almost 2 years ago, is doing what most new releases only dream of. Staying relevant, staying loved, staying alive. So what does this mean for Jungkook's career post-military? Whispers are beginning to grow. Rumors of a second solo album in the works. Speculation about a secret song camp in LA. Even theories that Golden was always meant to be a 2-part story, and part 2 is on its way the moment Jungkook walks free from military duty. Whether any of that is true remains to be seen, but the real story, the emotional one, is already here. It's in the tears of a fan replaying Standing Next to You alone in her room. It's in the laughter of international fans rewatching his old TikToks as 7 plays in the background. It's in the silence between two verses of yes or no, where his voice dips just enough to make you feel like he's talking only to you. Golden wasn't just an album, "Die was a time capsule. A farewell gift before enlistment. A snapshot of Jungkook in his prime. Free, fearless, and vulnerable. And now, as fans await his return, Golden has become the soundtrack to their waiting. Every stream is a heartbeat. Every lyric, a whisper of what's to come. So you tell us, what album from 2023 is still breaking records in mid-2025? Only one, and that's not just Golden, that's Jungkook. It's not just ARMY who are listening. Music lovers outside the K-pop sphere, Spotify users from Brazil to Berlin, from Cairo to California, continue adding Golden to their daily playlists. How does a Korean solo album, with no English language promo campaign and no ongoing media coverage, stay in rotation for almost 2 years? Music platforms are starting to notice. TikTok sounds using 7 and yes or no continue to surge. Reels on Instagram often feature "Hate You" for breakup edits, while "Standing Next to You" has become the unofficial anthem for long-distance couples. These aren't just fleeting trends. They're digital echoes of emotional resonance. Spotify curators have quietly slid Golden tracks into editorial playlists like Chill Vibes, Songs to Cry To, and even Songs That Saved Me. What started as a K-pop album has now grown into something more universal, a healing album, a missing you album, a this song understands me album. But can one album really hold this much emotional weight? And what happens when the artist behind it finally returns? With Jungkook's expected full return to civilian life in late July 2025, speculation is reaching a boiling point. Fans suspect that his sudden silence in June, after previously being active in BTS's OT7 live streams, is not without reason. Some believe he's preparing a surprise release. Others think Golden might be reissued in a deluxe anniversary edition, with unreleased tracks that didn't make the original cut. A few hopeful fans even theorize that the long-silent Golden Tour rumor, first sparked in late 2023, may finally become reality. HYB has remained tight-lipped. But one insider, speaking anonymously to Korean outlet Dispatch, said this: "What's coming in August will be one of the most memorable moments in Jungkook's career." And now, Golden becomes more than just a successful debut. IT becomes a launchpad. Scroll through social media and you'll see it. A teenager in Argentina shares how "Hate You" helped her process her parents' divorce. A 30-something man in Canada posts a story about how "Shot Glass of Tears" played on repeat after losing someone to cancer. A fan in the Philippines uses "Yes or No" to soundtrack their gender journey. Jungkook's music, stripped of gimmicks, is being lived, felt, needed. This is the legacy that's quietly forming around Golden, not just as a successful album, but as a companion. Every stream isn't just a number. It's a cry, a dance, a memory. The world is changing. AI is dominating music creation. TikTok stars rise and fall in weeks. K-pop itself has evolved rapidly over the past 2 years. Will Jungkook be able to adapt or even outshine the noise with a second album? If Golden is any indication, the answer isn't just yes. It's he already has. Because while other artists ride trends, Jungkook shapes emotional landscapes. He doesn't just sing a hit, he lives it. And we feel it. That's not a formula. That's a gift. So here we are, July 2025. An album from late 2023 is still climbing charts. Fans across time zones still tweet about it daily. People still cry to it, dance to it, heal to it. Jungkook hasn't posted in weeks. Yet Golden speaks louder than ever. What is it about this man's voice that refuses to fade? Why does this album still matter? And most hauntingly, what happens when he speaks again? When we look back on the past 2 years of Jungkook's career, one fact stands untouched. Golden did not just entertain. It documented something. It archived the voice of a man who knew he'd soon have to go quiet. And in that silence, his art would speak louder than any press tour or promotion ever could. And now that silence is nearly over, Jungkook is days away from returning fully. Not just from the military, but from a version of himself we thought we knew. But here's the twist. The longer he's been gone, the more we've gotten to know him. through his lyrics, his melodies, and the subtle choices he made in Golden that we're only now beginning to understand. The heartbreak in Hate You, the defiance in Too Sad to Dance, the longing in Seven. Each line hits differently in 2025 than it did in 2023. Maybe because we've changed. And maybe because he is too. It's a question few dare to ask out loud. What if Golden wasn't just a debut album, but also a farewell to youth, to innocence, to the version of Jungkook who sang under the protection of a group? What if this was his curtain call before reintroducing himself entirely? What if this is the reason he's been so silent? Because his return won't be as a member of BTS, or even as the Jungkook we once knew, but as someone entirely new. The possibility sends waves across fandoms. Some fans are excited, some are nervous, and many, quietly, are afraid. Because what if Jungkook's next move is to break the mold? What if Golden was the last time we'd hear him that way?